Hello, good morning. Welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I'm your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Sunday, October 29th, 2023, and I'm here to go over the Week 8 slate in the NFL. It's almost the middle point of the season. It's hard to believe the season's almost halfway over, but it is. So we're here in Week 8. And before we get into the slate, if you're new to the channel, if you would hit the like button and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk, it's a great time to join us. We just had our announcement the other day of our NBA tip-off special. So for $59.99, you're going to get the rest of obviously the rest of the NFL season, but basically the entire NBA season, the rest of Major League Baseball, the World Series, obviously, and any other sports that we cover from now all the way until June. So $59.99, really great deal. So we hope to see you in our Discord soon. If you want to join us, you can send me a DM on X at DFS Coach Talk or Twitter, as most of you know it as. And also you can email me, jpdavis1982@gmail.com. Just send me an email. Let me know, hey, I want to get in DFS Coach Talk, and we will be glad to get you in our Discord. With that being said, let's go ahead and start on the overview of the games. So we have at 1 p.m. Eastern, the Houston Texans taking on the Carolina Panthers. Houston's a -3.5 favorite, a -180 on the money line. It is 79 degrees. They're playing in Carolina. 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing west to southwest. 43.5 is the total for that game. Then also at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is a 7-point favorite in that game, -310 on the money line. They're indoors, so there's no weather. 45.5 total. The Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau taking on the Packers. Minnesota's a 1-point favorite, -115 on the money line. 39 degrees, 8-mile-an-hour winds blowing northwest. 41.5 is the total for that game. Then we have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. The Saints are a -2 favorite, -130 on the money line. They're indoors, and it's 43.5 is the projected total. We have the New England Patriots taking on the Miami Dolphins. Miami is an 8.5-point favorite, -430 on the money line. 83 degrees, 14-mile-an-hour winds blowing east to northeast. 46.5 is the total. Should be one of the higher ones on the slate, I believe. Then we have the New York Jets taking on the New York Giants. This game does have some rain, actually a pretty good chance of some rain, 84% chance, 56 degrees, 8-mile-an-hour winds blowing to the northeast. The Jets are a 3-point favorite, -165 on the money line. 35 is the projected total, so I think it's the lowest on the slate. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jacksonville is a 2-point favorite in Pittsburgh, -130 on the money line, 43% chance of rain. So there's a slight chance of rain here. 59 degrees, 3-mile-an-hour winds blowing to the north, so very little wind. 41 is the projected total. And we have another low projected total in Atlanta and Tennessee. Atlanta is a 2.5-point favorite, -140 on the money line. 35 is the total for this game, so it's tied with the Giants and Jets. 73 degrees, 7-mile-an-hour winds blowing to the west in Tennessee with a 30% chance of rain. We have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. Philadelphia is a 7-point favorite, -315 on the money line. 74 degrees, 5-mile-an-hour winds blowing to the east-southeast, 43.5 total. That probably is, it's tied for second highest. Or actually, no, the Rams and the Cowboys is the second highest. And we have at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, the Cleveland Browns taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's a -4-point favorite, -195 on the money line. 50 degrees, 5-mile-an-hour winds blowing to the north, 37.5 total. We have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Baltimore is a 10-point favorite, probably the heaviest on this slate, I would think. Minus 500 on the money line, 45 over under, so good total there. Then at 4:25 p.m. Eastern as well, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos in Denver. The Chiefs are a 7-point favorite, minus 340 on the money line, 43% chance of rain, 28 degrees, 9 mile an hour northeast winds, and it's a decent chance of snow too. So definitely want to keep an eye on this game as far as the weather goes. Should be lower scoring. They have a projected total of 45.5, but if the snow picks up, I would think it would keep the scores down quite a bit. Then we have the last game on this slate, 4:25 p.m. Eastern as well. Cincinnati Bengals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Should be one of the better games on the weekend. San Francisco is a 5-point favorite at home, minus 235 on the money line. 69 degrees, 8 mile an hour winds blowing to the northwest, 43.5 total. Tonight we have the Chicago Bears in Los Angeles taking on the Chargers. The Chargers are 8.5-point favorite, minus 445 on the money line, indoors, so no weather, 46.5 total. And then tomorrow, the Las Vegas Raiders are taking on the Detroit Lions at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Detroit's an 8-point favorite, minus 400 on the money line, 46 over under, and that's indoors as well. So that is going to do it for the game-by-game overview. Let's take a look at the chat. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, Doug. How's it going, guys? You guys have any questions for me? I know we're bright and early this morning, but this was the time that worked for me, so this is what we're doing. All right, so my top quarterback plays, I like Lamar Jackson. He's 8,100 on DraftKings, 8,800 on Fanduel, $34 on Yahoo against the Cardinals. I really like the way that they've been implementing him into the passing game more lately, balancing the run, which he's always had with more of a passing attack. It's really just opened up their playbook. So I really like Lamar Jackson. I'm pretty sure he's going to be one of the higher owned quarterbacks, or he probably should be anyway. But Lamar Jackson's my favorite quarterback for sure. Gardner Minshew, I think, is a good value. Looking at what he did last week against the Browns, which is a really good defense. Coming up against the Saints this week, which I know the Saints have a solid defense too, but I just feel like for his price and everything, he makes for a nice value play. At running back, you have Alvin Kamara. I like him. He's going up against the Colts. They have allowed – I had it pulled up, and now I'm not sure where it went. They have allowed the seventh most fantasy points to running backs, and Alvin Kamara has been playing really well lately, so I really like him against the Colts today. I also like Gus Edwards again. He had a nice game last week against the Lions. Should be in a really good spot today against the Cardinals. So I like those two running backs a lot. Wide receivers, Adam Thielen has just been playing fantastic this year. He's just really had a rebirth in Carolina, so I like him a lot. I also like pairing up Lamar Jackson with Zay Flowers. They've had a real nice connection. And then you have the recently emerged Josh Downs, which if you want to play in a GPP with Gardner Minshew, I think that's a nice play. Tight end, I like Mark Andrews again. Again, you can pair him up with Lamar Jackson, but even if you just play him, isolated, I think that he's in a really good spot against the Cardinals. They have struggled in the passing defense, so I think that Mark Andrews should be a solid play. And if Luke Musgrave is out for the Packers, which, he was in a walking boot a few days ago, but he did practice somehow on Friday, so they're not sure if he's going to play. But if he's out, he's almost free on all three sites, so he'd be a decent punt play at tight end. I also like Mike Gesicki in a revenge game against the Dolphins in Miami. I think that he's had, some decent point production lately, and for his price especially. So I think that Mike Gesicki, maybe he gets a touchdown in a revenge game. I like the value play there with Mike Gesicki. Defense, I like the Ravens. They played really well last week, obviously, in the blowout against the Lions. Going up against the Cardinals this week should be another really good spot for them. I think that they should be one of the higher-owned defenses on this slate, but I'm not sure they will be. I think a lot of people are probably going to look at the Chiefs against the Broncos and that, bad weather game, what's potentially a bad weather game. So the Chiefs and the Ravens would be my top two defenses. If you're looking for some value as far as defenses go, I do like the Giants at home against the Jets. I liked them last week against Washington, and I think they're in a really good spot again. Another defense that you could look at is maybe Atlanta against Tennessee. I think they're a decent value defense today. And see if there's anything else I like. It's probably about it. This is one of the smaller slates, not my favorite slate, but there are some good plays on this slate still I think. Nice. You're thinking Gesicki as well. Glad we're on the same page, Derek. Hopefully that's a good sign. We had anybody else show up? I'm trying to give away this membership. Actually, I never even got to give it away last week. No one ever contacted me. So reach out. I'm giving away a 7-day membership to our Discord. It's going to get you all of our lineups, get you in our chat. We have a really nice community, DFS Coach Talk, very family friendly, very positive and encouraging. So I think you'll really like it if you join us. So like I said before, you can send me a DM on Twitter or X at DFS Coach Talk. Email me, jpdavis1982@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to get you in there. Last thing on the way out, my top plays, as far as just in general, like a parlay would go. My favorite play is the Ravens over the Cardinals. And then my upset is going to be the Giants over the Jets, which the Giants are at home, but they are a 3-point underdog to the Jets. So I like them as a home underdog. I think they were a home underdog last week against the Commanders, which I took them there, and they were, able to win that one. So should be in a good spot again this week. All right, so far as props go with Prize Picks or Parlay Play, depending on which one you play, I like Jalen Hurts more than 249.5 passing yards. He's gone over that number in all of his last 5 games. He did have 319 yards passing against Commanders on October 1st, so I like the more for Jalen Hurts' passing yards. I also like the more for Adam Thielen's receiving yards at 67.5. He's gone over that number in 4 of his last 5 games, and he did have over 100 receiving yards in 3 of his last 4. So he's really been playing very well. He's just the main guy now for Bryce Young, and I really like him again today against Houston. And also like Mark Andrews, more than 55.5 receiving yards. It's a good spot for him. He's gone over this number in, I think it's 3 straight games now. So I like the number here for Andrews at 55.5 receiving yards. And then Jordan Love going up against Minnesota. They're supposed to be blitzing. They've been blitzing more than anybody basically with the Flores defense. So I think that Love should be able to get over that number. He has gone over that number in 4 of his last 5 games. And with his mobility, he can kind of use that against Minnesota defense. So I like him to get more than 15.5 rushing yards today. Oh, you're not a member, Derek? Well, shoot, we need to get you in. Send me a DM, like I said, on Twitter, or you can email me, jpdavis1982@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to get you in there, man. All right, guys. Well, I don't see anybody else in the chat. I don't see any other questions. So that's all I had for this brief early morning podcast. Hope everybody has an awesome Sunday. And we'll be back again next week as we look to crush it in NFL, DFS, and prop bets. Thank you.